Every Sunday, I used to sit at my kitchen table with a shoebox full of receipts. 2 hours every week doing work a machine should do. Then I built a system that does it in 90 seconds, and the framework behind it will change how you look at every single task in your business. If your business serves clients, customers, or other businesses, then on this channel, we're going to show you the AI and the automations that put more money into your business pocket and save you time. This is Tech That Pays. Make sure to follow, subscribe, and share with a friend. Hey, it's the real David Rhodd. And if you run a business like I do, then you know the dreaded task of keeping all your business expenses, receipts for tax purposes, and audits. So you have two choices, really. You either do it yourself or you hire a bookkeeper. And the process that I built to automate this works for small businesses or large corporations. When I was a process engineer for Magna International, Mercedes would come to us with a finished part, and they would say, hey, I want 1 million of these parts a year. Go build it. And then me and my team, we'd have to figure out, break the part down with the end goal in mind of this is what we want as a finished product. We built an assembly line, for operators to run it to get their finished product that they wanted, right? So that always taught me as a process engineer to start with the end in mind. And this is exactly how I automate the businesses that I run today, whether my personal businesses or the businesses of my clients. I'm walking you through my framework for doing this in a world of AI and digital automation. This works for small businesses or large corporations. The process is the same when I help companies and businesses implement this into the workforce. So my framework is called AADS equals enjoy. So the first A stands for audit, the second is automate, the D is delegate, and S is stop doing, and equals enjoy, meaning depending on what hat you're wearing, but if it's for you personally, you'll enjoy your life better. If you're a business owner or you own a corporation or you're the CEO or you're the director, it'll help lower costs, save time, and have a more efficient business. So let's go through it with the example of these receipts. So what I do on a normal basis, and I still do this every single day, I have a running list that I keep in my Google. I use Google Workspace, so shout out to Google. So I have a running list. It's an Excel sheet, and it puts every single task that I do every single day. So every single day I'm monitoring all the tasks that I do in my business. And I keep track of the things that I like doing, the things that I don't like doing as much, and the things that I want to stop doing altogether. So it's my audit sheet, and I'll leave a template below that you can get in the description if you want to, to start recording the task in your business. So I have this task list, and one of the items on my task list was these bills, these receipts, right? So I told you every Sunday, or if I don't do it every Sunday, I wait till the end of the year when it's tax time, and then I have all these receipts to do, and I have to calculate them all and give it to my accountant, or I got to hire a bookkeeper and give them everything, and they're going to charge me money. So it's all about how you want to handle it. So with the audit template, I said, you know what, I don't want to do any more of this counting receipts and doing stuff like that for tax time anymore. So I audit it. So the first thing I do is I say, okay, I don't want to do any of these receipts thing anymore. So how can I automate this? Because there's got to be a better way. That's the first step. So the goal, I already set the goal in mind, which is I don't want to do these receipts anymore. So 2, we go to the next stage, which is automate. So my automation of choice is Claude. Some people use ChatGPT, some people use Gemini. I like Claude, and I'll specifically tell you why. Because there are 3 components in Claude. Claude, the first component that most people know about is Claude Chat. That's where you chat back and forth like you do ChatGPT, ask it questions, and it responds back to you. The second is Cowork. Cowork is, it'll do things for you. So once you train it to do something, it'll start doing that task for you on whatever interval you want, whether that's every day or every year or every month or whenever you want. So that's Cowork. And then there's Code, Claude Code. Claude Code is where it'll build things for you, right? It'll build things, build a website for you. It'll, if you feel like you need a dashboard, it'll build that for you, right? So I tend to use Cowork a lot. So for this example, we are talking about the receipts. So I told Cowork that what I want to do is I want to stop scanning these receipts myself and waiting till the end of the year, and I don't want to hire a bookkeeper. I want to do this myself. So thinking with the end in mind, I used this. So one quick tip that you can do, you can go into Claude chat and you can type out and say, today you're a business strategist and you're going to help me outsource or delegate or automate things that I don't want to do. One of the things I don't want to do is I no longer want to have to scan receipts at the end of every year and calculate them for my accountant. I do not want to hire a bookkeeper either. How can you help me automate this? Enter. It'll come back and it'll give you some suggestions. So because I use Google Workspace, what's easy for me, all I want to do is I just want to take a picture of my receipt and be done and over with it. So in Cowork, what I did is I built a process that says, take a picture of my receipt. This one is for Subway, right? So shouts out to Subway. If you want a sponsorship, Subway, give me a call. So what I do now is I take a picture of my receipt, just like that. And then I just go into my phone and I just share it with my Google Drive. Let me put in my password there. I share it with my Google Drive. I have a specific folder in Google Drive that says receipts. And then I just click share. That's it. Done. So how does that help me? Because usually when I go out for lunch or go out for dinner with clients and these are business related expenses, as I'm walking back to my car to leave, I have the receipt. Usually I put in my back pocket and go to put it in the box later on. Now I just take a quick picture when I sit down in my car or before I sit down in my car. I share it with Google Drive as I showed you, and that's it. That's the end of my process. But what happens behind the scenes? So behind the scenes, I've trained Cowork to create a sheet in Google Drive, an Excel sheet, Google Sheets, and it tabulates every single receipt that is uploaded to the drive. So every time a receipt is uploaded to the drive, I set it to do it just once a week because I don't upload receipts all that, every single day. So I set it to go once a week, go into the Google Drive, look for all the receipts that have been uploaded. I want you to take all the descriptions of every single receipt, how much it costs, who was I with, what the company was, what the food. I want you to categorize it. I want you to put it all on a sheet. I want you to also have a Google a Drive link to the actual receipt on the sheet. And then I want you to tabulate it, put the full total, and keep track of this sheet. So when it's tax time, all I have to do is give this sheet, share the sheet with my accountant, and then that's it. All the totals and everything will be there. Of course, when I share this with my accountant, they're not going to charge me as much because I've done all the work for them already. I didn't have to hire a bookkeeper. Claude is now my bookkeeper. So going back to the framework, it's audit, automate, delegate, stop doing. So let's see how we could look at that in this process. So first, I told you I audited everything. I said, okay, I don't like doing these receipts anymore, so I want to automate it. My AI of choice was Claude. I started the prompt in the chat version. I said, give me some ideas on how I can get this done. It gave me some ideas. I took that and I trained Claude Cowork on how to do it, right? So now, if I wanted to go the extra step, I could delegate taking the picture of the receipt. But in this situation, I didn't need to delegate because usually I'm the one that's out eating with a customer, and then it's just easier for me to take a picture of the receipt. But let's just say you're a corporation, and this is where your employees go out and they go out for team dinners and they do like just small expenses when you go get office supplies and company related expenses. You can easily get them to snap a quick picture. It uploads to a drive in your internal server, or you can use like a Google or Dropbox or something like that someplace. And then you set the automation to bring this into your payroll department, so that your payroll department can now faster, record all these things and pay back and reimburse people. And then you can, start tabulating things and get it all to your accounting team, right? So there's different ways to do this, right? So at whatever level you are, you can either delegate it, right? Which for me, I'm not gonna delegate this task, right? But it just really streamlines the process. Hey, it's the real David. I just wanted to interrupt your video for just one moment to bring you a commercial sponsored by my company, Limitless Customers. Most business owners are stuck doing everything: emails, follow-ups, admin work, using tools that don't actually make the money. I started as a process engineer, automating production lines for companies like GM, Chrysler, Mercedes, and BMW. That's where I learned how systems create efficiency. Today, I apply those same principles to business using AI, systems, automations, and smart workflows to eliminate busy work and save time. We target areas to cut costs and increase revenue to give you and your workforce their time back. No fluff, just results. This is tech that pays. Sign up for an automation and AI audit today. All right, now get back to the video. The final step is stop doing it. So some people don't understand what stop doing it means. So what stop doing it means is, in every business, if when you try to automate, you cannot do it, which I would say 90 to 95% of the tasks that we do can be automated. If they cannot be automated, then you can delegate it. If you're $100 an hour or $50 an hour or $25 an hour a person, you shouldn't be doing tasks that someone else would do for $10 or $15 an hour. So that's where the delegation comes in, right? So if it's like sensitive, so I'll give you an example. In the mortgage business that I run, I typically do not like underwriting per se. So what I do is I automated everything in my mortgage business to bring the clients in, to get the application, to get the documents. And then the underwriting part needs a person that actually goes through it. So I delegated that part out, right, to someone else that could do that work for me, right? And then there's other things in that business that doesn't serve automation or delegating, so you have to make the choice to stop doing it. Because what this equals at the end is, once you audit, once you automate, once you delegate, or once you make the decision to stop doing, then you enjoy your life better. So as a single operator working in a business, if you're able to automate and delegate most of your work that you either needs to be done or don't like doing or stop doing, whichever, as a person, you're going to start enjoying the job that you do a lot better. Because as we know, as entrepreneurs or small business owners, when you're in a business, you have to wear multiple hats, and not every task you like to do. So if you can automate or delegate the tasks that you don't like to do and keep only the tasks that's your mastery, well, then you'll start enjoying what you're doing a lot better. For corporations, your employees are doing things that are redundant. I remember when I was at Magna International, at the end, once we created this full assembly line and we met their requirements on how much parts they want and put all these operators on there, et cetera, and at the end of it all, we'd have to give them an SOP manual. We'd have to give them a big manual, and these manuals took weeks, months to be completed, because we had to document the entire process of what we did so that they could run the lines by themselves. It was a necessary evil that we had to do. It was a daunting task. If I was still working at Magna today, that would easily be automated, right? Because we're documenting the process along the way, and we could give it to AI and they could formalize the manual and deliver it, and it'd be done and over with in a very short period of time. Now, as an employee, when I was doing that work, it was very daunting. You have to take tons of breaks because it's hard on the brain. If I can now outsource that to automation, Claude, Chat, Gemini, one of these automations, or even some custom automations that we do, then as the employee, it frees me up more to do other things for my employer, right? So now, as from the when you're as putting the employer brain on, if you're freeing up time for your employees and focusing them on doing the jobs that they enjoy doing in their daily day, one, just like how a gym and eating healthy benefits the employee, this also benefits the employee because it benefits their mentality. They come to work more refreshed and not with a brain drain, and they come to enjoy work a lot more. So now you're taking away some of these daunting tasks that can be completed by machines. So there's a huge benefit there for corporations doing this, and for small businesses that have employees as well. Also, it lowers your costs because now you can have the employee doing higher leveraged activities. So once you free them up for these daunting tasks that could be done by machines, you can have them doing other things, right? Saving you time. So now, in a workforce that typically required, maybe 2 people for this one task, you might only need 1. And now that frees up the other person to do other things for you. So lower costs, time saved, more efficiency, overall, just enjoyment. If you want to implement this framework into your business or corporation, book an appointment or try my free audit tool that shows you how much money and time you could be saving and get an instant return on investment made into your business. I'll leave all the links below, and I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.